the Vikings are heading in the J.J. McCarthy direction. Here he is from the Up and Adams show on how his knee is doing after the injury that wiped out his rookie year and whether the Vikings have told him he's QB1.
I mean, I would say I'm 100%, but, thank you. Cheers to that. But, yeah, just staying consistent with the rehab process and not wavering from that and just staying disciplined with all the outside stuff and making sure, I'm not chopping too much wood and doing all that fun stuff.
I feel like we as a fan base or even media found out, like, you're the guy, the guy recently. When did you know? When did they tell you, or when was that message to you?
They haven't told me, and I'm happy they didn't, because I try to earn it every single day, and I never want that to be given to me, and it's such a privilege and opportunity to give me that chance, and I'm just going to make the most of it every single day.
There was concern that he had gotten skinny. He didn't look skinny there.
Not
Did he
too
look
bad.
Skinny to
No.
you?
Nah, a little, he's not like the thickest guy in the world either way, but that didn't look like concerning skinny like I had heard and I had told you, and I think I said on the show earlier this week or late last week that there was worry about his size and what he had looked like because he couldn't work out as he was rehabilitating this injury. I think him keeping weight on is definitely one of the struggles of his young, fast metabolism life right now, which I can understand. I've been in that boat before too as a young quarterback, so I think he probably has to keep his eye on that a little bit.
God, I've never been in a position at any point in my life where I needed to eat. It's always been stop eating. It's never been, man, you got to eat some more.
I had a metabolism that was pretty amazing at one point in my life. And for training camp in Tampa, they always wanted me around like 230. And, you're living in Tampa, and it's the summer, and it's hot as hell, and I'm trying to go out and
Swamp
run.
ass.
Swamp ass for real, and I'm trying to go out and run and be in shape, and we got running tests and doing all that, right? So I'd always be like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to be 230 by the time training camp comes around. I might be 224, 225. But that's where the good Italian wife came in handy, let me just tell you. All the good meals, like sticks of butter on like each piece of bread for a sandwich. I mean, all the good stuff, Mike. Pints of ice cream every night, and don't even flinch. Just finish the whole pint. Not even. Sometimes get in the second one.
Pint.
Yeah, pint.
Lightweight.
Yeah,
Pint.
I know.
Quart, baby.
Well,
half gallon.
Well, it probably went there, but I chipped
right
my
out
way.
Of half gallon.
I chipped away at it. Yeah, so I did have that at one point, but he looks good. To your point with J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. I mean, I remember last year when all of a sudden there was a picture of Tua Tagovailoa with a fan, and we didn't know which one was Tua. Remember that?
Yes.
He had lost so much weight. That's the kind of thing I was expecting when we finally saw J.J. McCarthy. We wouldn't even know that he's an NFL quarterback, but he looks like he's, you can see
he's a thinner guy.
He's ready to go.
He's good.
Go.
He's got some muscle, and he's definitely an athlete. He's above 6'3". He's got long arms. But, yeah, the weight will have to be something that he has to focus on at the early part of his career. Just as we always talk about, to have that little armor, that protective armor from when you get hit, when people land on you, do all of that. But, man, he should be feeling happy right now because the way it looks, and, I know people were talking, people might be calling the Vikings to trade. They're not trading J.J. McCarthy. He's their guy. They got nobody else now. That ship sailed. He's the guy. And, yeah, I would expect Aaron Rodgers to go to Pittsburgh, and J.J. McCarthy could feel good, and they'll sign a veteran free agent to be his backup, and the J.J. McCarthy era starts in Minnesota.
A trade was only on the table if they would have made a multi-year commitment to a veteran quarterback.
Right,
because McCarthy at that point, I'm telling you, would have wanted out.
Yeah.
And then the question is, how does McCarthy compare to this year's crop of quarterbacks, and what could you get for J.J. McCarthy? Could you get a top 5 pick for J.J. McCarthy? Those were all hypothetical conversations. If they had re-upped with Sam Darnold on a 2-year deal that was truly a 2-year deal, if they had signed Aaron Rodgers, McCarthy was going to want out. So let's see what McCarthy can do with Kevin O'Connell. We saw what guy who was massive bust with the Jets could do with Kevin O'Connell. What if a guy who comes in and was going to be a good quarterback wherever he went partners up with Kevin O'Connell?
I know.
It's foolish to not find out.
Until the Aaron Rodgers thing came about, right? That was I was in the, let's say, J.J. McCarthy, let's He was looked like he was gonna be your starter last year. There's a reason you traded up a spot to make sure you got him in the draft. Just trust your evaluation. Plus, I think he's just a perfect fit for that offense. His greatest gift when you watch him back at Michigan is his ability to hit crossing routes and in cuts 15, 20, 25 yards down the field. And you know, as a Minnesota fan, what is the number one thing we see Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison doing most of the time? It's running across the middle of the field about 20 yards downfield, catching the ball like their hair's on fire, yanking it out of the air and running, getting yards after the catch. That's where I think he's going to be the perfect fit, let alone he can move a little bit and run when he has to. He's a better athlete than people realize or give him credit for. So he is. But you're just going to have to deal with some rookie bumps and bruises and dealing with that. And that's where I think the Rodgers conversation came into it, because they're going, damn, we're really good. Our team's over the bumps and bruises phases. We're ready to go to the next level, but we're going to have to kind of massage this a little bit with a young quarterback, and that's some of the gymnastics they're going to have to go through here.
And the fact that they haven't affirmatively said you're QB1, there's an element of let's see if this guy goes and earns it. Let's see what he does. This is part of the, okay, we've got Aaron Rodgers on standby in the event he doesn't sign with the Steelers, but I think it's more likely than not at this point that ship will have sailed by the time the Vikings make their decision. They might have to look for somebody else if J.J. McCarthy should face plant during the offseason program. But let's see if this guy goes and takes it. We drafted him to be a guy who goes and takes it. For all we know, last year, if he doesn't get injured in the preseason opener against the Raiders,
it felt like it was trending that way.
And taken it.
Right.
I know that there's this revisionist history. Well, it was always going to be Sam Darnold's year. Bull crap.
I don't think so
at all. It was always going to be Sam Darnold's year. And let me tell you this.
Yeah.
He's getting benched during that Jaguars game if J.J. McCarthy is there and ready to go.
I hear you
when
there,
he has
too.
3 interceptions and maybe more.
He should have had like 5 or 6. They dropped like 3 or 4, I think, really. But, yeah, I think he had 3 or 4 interceptions. I'm with you. My spidey senses and the way that they played him in that one preseason game, again, was kind of showing me like, hey, here, have a great day. Put out some highlights. Here's the start of us formulating you're the new starting quarterback here. It felt like it was going that way, and he was passing the test against the Razor. Again, what was that route, Mike? Oh, over the middle, 20 yards. Boom. On the dot. Right? He's got a big-time arm. I mean, it's powerful. For a skinny dude like he is, like we've talked about, he can pump it down the field and he can spin it and throw it with some authority.
A little touch right there.
Right, a little touch.
Pass.
So that game there, yes, I remember sitting watching it live going, oh, they're setting it up for JJ to take it over. Next week, he's going to be the starter in the next preseason game, and they're going to go from there.
Yep.
Right.
And it was all positive, it was all good, and then all of a sudden it's like J.J. McCarthy's got a knee injury. It's like, oh, okay, he's got a knee injury. Oh, he's got a torn meniscus. Oh, shit, uh-oh.
Yeah.
If he gets a repair, he's going to be out for 3 months. Wait, they're shutting him down for the full year? Wait, they're putting him on IR before the roster cut down? He's going to be out for the entire year? And that was smart because at that point it was pivot to Sam Darnold. Don't have anybody lurking over his shoulder. Give McCarthy the full year to get ready for next year. Let's just see what Darnold can do. And we'll make decisions about 25 when 25 comes. And that's what they've done. That's where they are, and that's where we are. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.